In today's video, I'm going to show you how to make a ton of money with your Cricut Explorer Air 2 this winter season. We're going to be making a crop to zip up hoodie using 10,000 rhinestones. The only thing we're going to use to make our rhinestone transfer is our Cricut Explorer Air 2, Cricut Design Space, and a heat press. Make sure you apply everything I teach you in this video ASAP because the cold season is here and you want to maximize your profits with these types of garments. Everything you need will be linked down below, and if you have any questions during this video, leave them in the comment section. Let's get right into it. Okay, so we have Cricut Design Space open. This is the stencil that we're going to cut. So I'm going to show you how we got to this point. So we're going to go ahead and click the link down below. It's going to take you to my website. All the Rhinestone stuff you're going to need, the Rhinestone starter kit, all that good stuff. You're going to need this to make the physical stencils and the transfers. But we do have two different packs. This one is a bunch of fonts. It's super clutch. You're able to customize any of these. And then the one we're going to be using is the Y2K Rhinestone pack. So we're going to go ahead and grab this one. And the one that we're using is going to be this one right here. So all you're going to go ahead and do is add to cart, check out. These are mine. I did make these. This is a direct way to support me. And it's also an awesome way for you guys to make money because I give you full commercial licensing to use all of these, make as much money as you want, customize it as much as you want. These pair well with the fonts. So we're going to go ahead and download that. Well, when we download it, this is what we're ending up with. If you see right here, it is zipped. So you're going to have to extract it. And then the previews are right here. That way you get an idea of what's in there, the order. That way you know which one is which. You got instructions. But like I said, don't forget to unzip this or else I'm not sure if it'll work. So you have to extract it, choose a folder, go ahead and dump it in there. So let's go ahead and I'll delete these. That way you know how we got to this point. We're going to go ahead and hit upload. Find the folder where you imported your SVG files. Go ahead and import this one. We're going to add to canvas. And we're going to go ahead and ungroup. You can, if you just want to make one, this works. I'm going to go ahead and make one that'll make me like 25. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're gonna go ahead and weld that so it's one layer, and then we're gonna do the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. And it doesn't have to be 5. You can make as many as you want. We're gonna go ahead and weld that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, same thing here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now, if you want them to line up perfectly, all you're gonna do is just highlight. We're gonna go to align. I believe it's center vertically. There we go. Align, center vertically. We're gonna do the same thing for all of them. Center vertically. You see how it lines up? Center vertically. All right. You can also go ahead and, center horizontally. You can line it up however you want. This is at your discretion. I'm going to leave it like this just for the sake of the tutorial. But you can line it up using the align tool. Just, like I said, highlight your layers, whatever. And this can be completely customizable to whatever you want. You can make 100 of these, you can make one, whatever makes the most sense for you. So we're going to go over to shapes. We're going to add a square. I'm going to go ahead and choose the color to blue. Send to back. I'm going to go like this. I'm going to duplicate, put that there. Perfect. Now we're going to highlight the first one, hit combine, subtract, boom, knocks the holes right through the square. Same thing, subtract, and there you go. That is the stencils that we are going to cut. This is going to be the blue rhinestone flock that's going to go into our vinyl cutter. So we're going to go ahead and hit make. If you have a 12 by 24 mat, they can both go on one mat. So that's up to you. You don't have to mirror. I guess in this case it doesn't matter because it's just the circle shape. But if you have letters, you don't want to mirror because you want this facing upright. I know with heat transfer vinyl we typically mirror, but for this we're not going to, right? So we're ready to go. We're gonna hit continue, and I will meet you at the vinyl cutter. Okay, so we have our rhinestone flock ready. I went ahead and I added it to the mat, and now we're going to put the mat into the vinyl cutter. For the needle pressure, I have it set to poster board plus. You can also use poster board, but just make sure that your needle is not dull. You're going to want to double check this. But all right, we're good to go. We're going to go ahead and let it cut. I will see you in the next clip. Okay, so we have our stencil cut out, perfectly sized for SS10 rhinestones. Make sure you're not getting your rhinestone sizes confused. SS10 is the most common. I've used all the way down to like SS4. This is what we're gonna end up with right here. Multicolor. I'll show you guys how we got to this process. But for this stencil, we're gonna be using silver. And then these are AB crystal. So they look similar, but I'm not sure if you guys can tell in this video, but the AB crystal is slightly more colorful. Well, actually a lot more colorful. And the silver is just straight up silver. I do like adding these in the multicolor garments just because these can be placed anywhere and it'll look good because they're, you know, like such a neutral color. So just go ahead and pour this. And then we're going to grab our brush tool. And we're just going to go ahead and brush it in. Most of them are going to fall into the holes. And the ones that don't, we're going to just go ahead and grab our tweezers and manually put them in. The one thing about this is over time, your flick of the wrist is going to get better and you're going to know what motion to use to help them fall into place more. Because when I first started, it was a little bit harder for me to get the rhinestones into the holes. I was kind of like, you know, over brushing and stuff. So just don't get demotivated if they're not falling into place for you. You just need that little flick of the wrist. But over time, you will get better. You know, just let me know if you have any questions so far. Go ahead and, you know, leave them in the comment section. And, you know, the best place to get a hold of me is Instagram because I get a lot of emails, the comments on YouTube. I try to respond, but it's a little bit hard because you can't really like message each other. You know, it's all through replies, through comments. So, you know, you can email me. But if you have questions about how to use the files or anything of that nature, you know, you need help with some of the rhinestone settings, you know, Instagram is going to be the best. So we are using the tweezers and just placing these in the hole. Boom. The reason why I like the rhinestone stuff is because it just sells so much. Like, it's crazy because I went to Complex Con a couple of days ago. If you follow my social networks, you'll see all the interviews that I did. I did a ton. I did like Superline, Desto Dub, Capri, Tommy from Activity, like a ton of people. Everybody was wearing rhinestones. Like, it was really, really insane the amount of people that were wearing rhinestones. And it just shows how popular it is right now. Like, literally everybody was wearing rhinestones. It was as if Complex sent out a memo and was telling everybody to wear rhinestones. And this winter's coming up. People are gonna start buying, you know, zipped hoodies, jackets. And the fact that we're able to make these rhinestone garments out of our Cricut Explorer Air 2, because remember, I have a Cricut Explorer Air 2. This is not even one of the newer ones. You know, I used one of the older ones. And the fact that we're able to make this much money with the rhinestone garment is actually insane, because this jacket, once it's done, you know, I'm gonna be able to sell it for, I mean, I'm gonna price it at like $200, because it is a lot of hard work, you know, and well, we are doing this by hand. But the fact that we're able to produce these garments from our, you know, bedroom, because you guys know me, I'm in my bedroom still, you know, I'm still grinding, I'm still, you know, working really hard to, you know, get into bigger spaces and all that good stuff. And which kind of leads me to, you know, thanking you guys, because you guys supporting my files and my content, all that good stuff, has helped me a lot throughout the years. You know, if you've been following my content, you know that like 2 years ago, you know, I was doing DoorDash full time and trying to build my YouTube, trying to get all these tutorials out. And it really did pay off. And it's, you know, literally because of you guys. You guys are literally the reason why I'm growing. And it's something that I've always wanted, you know, since a kid. And I'm just blessed to have you guys, you know, because you guys really got me to that next level. That's why I just continue to be the best creator that I can, and just, you know, learning how to provide the most value to you guys, you know. So, you know, if you guys support, you know, you're the reason why I'm able to continue to do this, you know. But I'm still grinding, still saving money, still trying to get to the next level, you know, just like you know, we're in this together. This is a mutual friendship, you and I, you know, and that's just, you know, the people that support me know that that's the type of love I got for you, you know. So I appreciate it. So let's see, we're almost done. Boom. All right, cool. Where is, oh, that's right here. All right, now it's time to do the transfer tape. I usually do the transfer tape before I lay out the stones, so that way I can size it correctly, but I kind of forgot, so we're gonna do it now. All right. So we're gonna cut it right there. All right, let me cut this piece right here. It's just easier to do it beforehand and just have it ready. So if you're doing this step, just cut your tape before. I think it's a little helpful. I was hoping I had it cut before so I don't waste your time. I don't want to have you watching unnecessary content, but it's all good. We out here. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and peel. And if you get transfer tape from my website, you're gonna be buying like literally the highest quality transfer tape that you could possibly buy. It's extremely sticky. It lasts a really long time, and what I mean by that is like you can. Let me stay quiet for a second. Okay, cool. I just have to make sure that hit. You're able to use this multiple times, so after it's pressed, you can save this transfer tape and use it again. So when you get if you're getting the Rhinestone starter kit or you're buying rolls, you know you're getting your money's worth, because you're able to press this same tape transfer, you know, anywhere between 5 to 10 times. So it goes like a really, really, really long way. All right. So now, oh, one more thing. When you're applying the transfer tape, remember to start on one side and let it fall, because if you try to just lay it on top, you might have trouble. And that's when you're doing single color or doing the first layer. Applying it here, I am gonna bring it to the top, but I'm able to do it because I hope this makes sense. Um, one second, let me remove some of these that don't belong. Um, oh my goodness, what was I saying? Kind of lost track of thought. I was paying attention to this rhinestone. Oh, there it is. Always double check your work, because these rhinestones, sometimes it's easy to miss one. I know I didn't finish my thought that I had. I apologize. Kind of my ADHD kicking in. But, oh yeah, that's what I was saying. I can do it like this because the rhinestones are being elevated by the flock. So you can kind of get away with it because this tape is not going to immediately touch these. But if you're doing the first layer, you can't really do that. Only because you will mess up the rhinestone. So please keep that in mind. That's why I set it down the way that I did. Okay, we gotta be careful. Boom, just like that. Perfect. Okay. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab our brush tool and you're gonna just go in and make sure all of the stones are touching the tape. So that way when we lift, they all come up with it. So let's go ahead and do this. And when I do lift it, I'm going to lift it really slow because sometimes, you know, not every rhinestone gets love and gets, you know, attached to the tape. So we're going to do it slow. So if any don't come up, we can go back down, just grab it. And I'll show you what I mean if any of them get left behind. So we're going to go slow. Oh, wow. Okay. So a lot came up. So I actually did not take my time. Okay. Hopefully this is gonna be a better job. All right, we're gonna do it slow. Boom, first layer all came up, all came up. Those all came up. We're going slow. Oh, there's one missing. So this one didn't live, so we're gonna just press it with our finger and that should do the trick, but we're still gonna go slow and boom. There we go. All right. And there we go. This is what we're left with. Let me show you the other ones that I did. So there's this. We got some red. We got some blue. We got some orange. More of the AB. We got some green in here. And you can either grab your fabric cutter or the scissors that, you know, I supply you and just go ahead and cut them out. And like I showed you earlier, once we cut them all out, this is what we're left with. These can be used on anything. I put these on hats, bandanas. I'm gonna put them on jeans next. For this video, they're going on a crop hoodie. These are universal, so it's like a really clutch stencil to have. Elevates any piece. You want to, you know, raise the price on your pieces. This is a perfect way to do it. So now that we have these made, I am gonna also make this right here. This is gonna go in the middle. It just says recipe. You know, I also got a star that's gonna go on each side, but this is gonna be regular silver crystal. I'm not gonna film that just because it's literally the same process you guys just saw. But if you have any questions so far, leave them in the comment section, DM me, you know, cop some SVG files, all that good stuff. But let's go over to the heat press so we can start applying, and then that way if you have any questions there, I got you as well. Let's get it. All right, so we are at the heat press. I went ahead and I set it to 340 degrees. When you're working with hot fixed rhinestones, I usually keep it between 335 minimum, and I can go up to like 350, 360. Typically 340 is gonna work. Just make sure that the garment that you have can hold that type of heat. For example, when I do like a leather belt and I apply rhinestones, I actually go down to like 315, you know, just to keep the belt safe. But cotton items like this, especially when they're heavyweight, you can definitely go up to like 340, 350. So just keep that in mind, play around, see what settings works best for you, especially because some heat presses are a little bit different. This one is the fancier Studio 16 by 24. It does have the pull-out drawer, which is really nice. This one is $309. It does have the manual pressure. The quality build on this one is insane. I've had this one for a couple years and it's still running extremely strong. Me personally, I'm always on a budget, you know, like I said, I'm still saving my money, still trying to get better equipment. So personally, I'm not going to be spending $1,000, $1,500 on a heat press right now. And if you're a beginner, I'm assuming you don't want to do that either. So this one is an awesome choice. If you want to go a little bit more affordable than that, there's the 15 by 15. It does not have the pull-out drawer, but it has the same build and it's from the same company, Fancier Studio. That one's in my Amazon storefront as well, along with this one. That way you can go back and forth. I believe that one is under $200. Maybe it's between 150 and 200. And then this one is a little over 300. So depending on your budget, those are the two best ways to go. It's what I recommend. It's what I use on this channel. If you go to any one of my videos, they're all going to be Fancier Studio. So we have our rhinestone transfers right here. I'm just going to go ahead and add a couple. I don't need to film the whole thing because it's going to be very repetitive. I got to put these all over the hoodie. So we're going to just go ahead and apply these. I usually like to leave, I don't know, maybe like an inch, like 2 inches away from all of them. But when you're using so many, it kind of doesn't matter what you do as far as how you space them. This is totally at your discretion. Don't feel, you know, limited or anything like that. All right. And like I said, if you have any questions so far, leave them in the comment section. I do my best to get back to all you guys. All right, let's go ahead and add a dark orange in here. And this is like all random. I'm just kind of laying them out. Okay. Let's start with these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm definitely going to add more, but let's press these first. So we're going to have to make sure our pressure is somewhat heavy. That way the heat, when we lock it in, it distributes throughout all the rhinestones because we want them to adhere properly. That's the goal. We don't want any of these falling off because it is a lot of rhinestones. This ends up being, the whole hoodie ends up being about 10,000 rhinestones, which is why for my clothing brand, I'm going to be charging $200 for this. So if you're making something similar, you know who's charging what. You are completely justified to charge whatever you want, especially because you guys are making these, right? Keep that in mind. That's something that I forget when I'm pricing my work, is I forget that I make this stuff. This is my work, my hands, and it's the same thing for you, and you have to factor that in, you know? And like I said, the rhinestones are really hot. The hoodies, people need hoodies. It's cold. Like, come on, this is a money machine right here. You know, that's making these videos, to put you guys on, to maximize your profits. All right. So we're going to go ahead and do this for roughly 20 seconds, a little over. And then we're going to be peeling them slowly because we want to make sure every stone adhered, because if it didn't, we're going to have to, you know, go back and make sure it's applied correctly. So a couple more seconds. All right. Boom. All right. So remember, we're going to do this really slow. Perfect. That red one went through. That one went through. Perfect. Perfect. Ooh, it looks like a stone is up here. I should have checked that. There was a stone on the top and it kind of left a little indentation. No problem. I want to cover that. But I'm just letting you guys know that happens so you can kind of watch out for your stuff. Make sure there's no stones. I didn't even think about checking on top, but it's just a little dot. Oh, so there was one missing. I kind of lifted it up too early, but no problem. I'm just gonna steal it off of this one. Is this the same color? Yeah, I'm just gonna steal this one. This is out of laziness, by the way, because I have so many rhinestones everywhere. I kind of don't want to find the bag that one is in. So that's the only reason why I'm stealing it off of this one. That's me being lazy, and I probably shouldn't be doing that because then I ruined this one, but it's all good. There we go. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and press that. But that's why we peel slow, just to make sure they all adhered. because we have to make sure every rhinestone gets the proper attention, you know, because if one of these falls off, the whole garment is ruined. But that's also why I do give my customers extra stones, so that way if they do fall off, they can reapply it themselves with the iron. You can leave instructions, but for garments like this that you're going to be charging a lot, always give them extra rhinestones. I have these little these baggies right here. Where's the rest of them? So I have these little baggies. I don't give them that many, but I do give them like a really small amount of the colors. That way they can go ahead and replace stones as they fall off, so they can maximize the life of their garment. They're gonna appreciate that, especially right now, you know, hard times. People are being really frugal with their money. So you just have to make sure you're, you know, delivering that value so that they feel justified as to spending that amount. Because like I said, we are charging a lot for these, but it's because it's our work, you know, it's what we deserve. So I'm gonna go ahead and add the rest of these, and then I'm gonna go ahead and lay it out and give you like a full flat lay so you can see the details, see how everything came out. If you have any questions so far, just go ahead and leave them in the comment section. But like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and I will see you at the next scene. And there you go. That's everything that you're gonna need to start making your own rhinestone zip-up hoodies this winter season. Like I said, don't wait to apply any of this information, because right now is the time to get started so you can make as much money as possible. We're currently in the beginning of November. If you apply this now, you're gonna have enough money to buy all your loved ones whatever they want during this winter season. Christmas time is around the corner, so we got to lock in. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you for getting this far. I'll see you next video.